Does the quality of your relationship with another person depend only on you or on both persons? It depends on both. It is entirely the identity with the body that makes you feel there, too. Do the flowers have relationships? They also have the essence of the elements in them, and that knowledge of beingness is the essence of the elements. If you water them, they are pleased and they bloom. But if you don't water them, they are displeased and angry. But we can speak while they don't have the power of speech. I'd like to know the meaning of language. Why do we talk and the bowers do not? You will not know even if they are talking among themselves. What is the meaning of our language then? Our words create chaos, but whatever meaning they have is only momentary. It has no lasting meaning. Small children don't speak. That's why their behavior is better than yours. The kind of relationship we have with children is very different from what we have with grown-up people. Because children are innocent. You can take anybody's child and fondle it. It's a pity that first they have to learn to talk and then later learn not to talk. Learning to talk is done for the child's well-being. You shape the child as something shaped from gold. Sometimes the labor charges for molding a piece of gold are more than the value of the product. I would like to know about artists. How does it happen that some person creates? It is the quality of that great knowledge I am that creates. Can you be an artist if you are not free from the body-mind concept? It is an aid to the artist that we are in the body. The body is the support of that beingness. The moment that beingness was planted, the formation of this body was taking place. The world is created for it. In the womb, that knowingness is ignorant of its existence. The I am is not present, but the I am principle is started there. All things happen unknowingly. But even to understand that is very difficult. It is beyond our comprehension. Does one become nothing? In your nothingness you are perfect, you are total, and in your knowingness you are imperfect. One should give up one's self-importance then. Just understand that there is no self-importance at all. Realize that you have done nothing all along. When you identify with the body-mind, you become separate. You are not one with anybody. When you are the I amness, you are everything. To help you to understand, various concepts are given, the Prakriti and Purusha, but actually there is nothing. Even such concepts form a trap. The first trap is the love to be. Is the eternal of the absolute the eternal of the relative? The absolute is permanent, illusion is impermanent. Has it ever been pure absolute without the permanent change? The absolute is always. When we talk about the coexistence of the absolute and Maya, there is no question of time. The absolute is not time-bound. Beyond illusion, there is no such thing as time. You cannot think whether the absolute was without illusion because time does not exist there at all. It is not even 100,000ths of a second that this illusion is born, while scientists talk of this world's billions of years. When I think of the absolute as the ocean, the waves are not the ocean, but they are still there. That's why the question came up. You are not to study objectivity, the ocean and this body, the illusion. You have to understand yourself. If you have dived deep into the sea, where are the waves? When you come out of the ocean, the waves appear. When you have no feeling of happiness or misery and no feeling of I amness, you are in the state of nirguna. Recede back prior to the thoughts. How do you know which is the first film? The first film is when the knowingness appears on you. In that knowledge I am, all is contained. But what I meant is that you are born and then you die. I want to know if we now have the memory of that. According to your own knowledge, is this knowingness which appeared on you the first or some other number? For me it is the first. That is all you have to take for granted. Just throw out whatever you have heard or read. tell me only what is from your own experience. There was a person who said that he had known me for the last 11 births. I told him, this is your concept. I do not know you. I have no faith in anything unless I have experienced it myself. There is violence everywhere, wars and all kinds of horrors. You long to be separate from it, and at the same time you are one with it. Nobody has been able to change that Maya. Just observe, without accepting or rejecting. The solution can only be when you abide in yourself. Investigate how you happen to be. Because I was created by my parents. Only in that when the film started knowing itself, I am, then you came to know all this. Did you know anything before? There was nothing. Exactly. That you have to understand. Direct your questioning to who am I and what am I? A man was in the habit of drinking tea every morning at 5 o'clock. Unfortunately, the principal left the body at 3. Will that dead body demand tea at 5 o'clock? You don't touch areas which you should ponder, but you want to know all about other areas that are just a passing phase. Should we not change in order to get this knowledge? You are not the one who changes. What changes is your mind, your intellect, and your body. When you come here and listen, you will be inspired to think within. Later on, your nature changes. Hearing is most important, and by hearing these wise words, gradually the mind will change. That knowledge I am is born out of love, but the illusion has taken such hold of it that the love for the I amness has gone into the background. To stay with it, it has become increasingly difficult. Without the manifestation, the love was total. Is the I am identical with consciousness? Yes, but that I amness will be present only so long as the fuel lasts. The fuel ultimately must be love? Yes, that love is all-pervading. These flowers are an expression of my love. The blooming of the flowers is not an individual's expression of love, but a universal expression of love. How did the movement start? There is no reason, no cause, no purpose. It is spontaneously happening. Is Maya from the point of the first movement or from the point where form is created? Everything is contained in the consciousness, the whole show, even the appearance of the illusion itself. Yes, everything is illusion. Your conviction that you are born is an illusion. Everything is contained in the consciousness, the whole show. Even the appearance of the illusion itself? Yes, everything is illusion. Your conviction that you are born is an illusion. Who is the victim of the illusion, and who will be free of it? The knowledge that you are is the victim, and that is going to be liberated. A farmer sows the seeds and gets the produce. He creates and he consumes. Illusion or Maya or Brahma are all your names. Who is liberated and who is bound? You only. When I sit in meditation, there is very little thought activity, just an awareness, a very calm state of mind. Is this state something to do with going toward I amness, or is it just another state in consciousness? That calmness is when your beingness is resting. As you have come to India but have not forgotten that you are Australian, so likewise you should not forget what you are. Are you convinced in that fashion? Intellectually, yes. Don't talk of the intellect. Are you convinced? You know that you are not the body, not the mind, and not the name given to you by someone else. You are consciousness, and it has no form. You are a man because you identify with the body. If you do not identify with the body, what sex are you? After leaving the body, the vital breath and the I am merge into the substratum. Then where is man or a woman? Should one meditate on this? Meditation is very necessary. During meditation, you must hold on to this concept that I am not the body-mind. I am the self-effulgent knowledge only. What is samadhi? satisfaction. When you obtain your objective, you feel satisfied. You want to attain a profit, and when you do, you feel satisfied. Samadhi is no help in understanding the self. The state of satisfaction in samadhi is the self. When you do not have the body, complete satisfaction existed. Is the satisfaction of samadhi total satisfaction? It is an objective satisfaction, that the food essence quality is there. That knowingness, which is a quality of food essence, subsided into satisfaction. All the sages say to worship your own self, but the people do not understand. They worship Rama or Krishna, etc. But in the process of worshiping all these gods, yourself spouts. Having listened to the talk of the sages, the person will start focusing on the self. He can carry on all his normal duties, but his attention will be directed to the self. He will not be involved in anything. In this process, gradually he will attain the highest, the absolute. Take full advantage of a jnani, a guru, or a sage that you meet, but understand what you are. Stabilize in the self. Because of your ignorance, all along we have depended on the mind. Mind was our guru, mind was directing and guiding us. Now I have understood that mind is not me. Mind is apart from me. In this process, I am apart from the body-mind. If tomorrow my body should quit, nothing will happen to me. What should one's attitude be when listening to the guru? One should be very receptive, loving and humble, and surrender completely to the guru. How long should one stay with the guru? You have to stay with yourself. Self is the guru. The faith in the words of the guru should be a living faith, but the faith should not be disturbed. You shall abide in the I amness. When you do that, you are one with the manifest guru. Satguru is the one who watches the appearance and disappearance of this guru I amness. When we abide in the absolute, that is Satguru. Initially, you do require a person who is a Satguru. Those who have the urge to know truth will necessarily come across such a Satguru. In my original state, I have no form and no thoughts. I didn't know I was, but suddenly another state appeared in which I had a form and thought I am. How did this appear? The one who explains how these appearances have come about is the Satguru. Do not be bound by imagination or ideas. Keep aloof from them. Let everything happen according to its own nature. Just as you are bound not by the body-mind sense, you are also bound by the relationships in this objective world. And that binding is very serious indeed. The true perspective of the self within is the freedom that is yours. The self that is within is all the emptiness of the sky. Through the consciousness which has appeared on you, you view this objective world. With the knowledge that you are awake, you find that the world is filled with the objective pictures which are within you. In deep sleep, there are no pictures, no objective sights at all. There is no cause for the creation of this objective world. It has come spontaneously. There was no action on anyone's part. That consciousness itself will tell you, the one aware of it, that it is all you see. It is very difficult to understand this. The one who has realized that the consciousness is being witnessed by the universal consciousness has reached the ultimate. But the majority of people are wrapped up in the manifested knowledge that I am. The world is within me. I am not within the world. Bhagavan, God, is the light which is the manifest world. I have realized that light, and I am not bound by it. I am not in it. That is the state from which the manifestation is observed. Ishvara, God, state, is the borderline, the beginning of nirguna, from being to no being, of entering the absolute field from where witnessing of this manifestation occurs. This is the beginning of the Absolute. It is not I amness. The Absolute cannot talk, but this talk relates to that only. I have no method to pursue this truth. At the most, I will tell you to purify your vital breath. You will be asked to follow a meditation on a nama mantra. That's all. All other things are spontaneous. What is the meaning of the recitation of the nama? It is the primordial music. Sing this melody of nama mantra. In the process, one loses oneself and all the mischievous thoughts disappear. Since this manifestation is myself, can I bring about certain improvements in it? When you cling to the body-mind, you become separate from the manifest world and you see different entities. In that state, you will have all kinds of desires to improve yourself or somebody else. The next state is I amness, in which every action is myself. Every manifest thing is myself. In that state, there is no question of improving. You are just manifestation. I am everything. Next is the unborn state where there is no beingness to understand I am. That is the highest state. The moment I start calling myself a sannyasi, I start conditioning myself. I must have matted hair. I must beg for food. I must not eat this, etc. So I have not taken any pose. When food is served, whatever this body relishes, I eat. Whatever it doesn't, I leave. Not that this is good and this is bad, nothing of the sort. Your first step is beingness. Embrace the knowledge. I am. Be that. I am trying to speak of my most intimate secrets. Just as the dream world uncalled for has appeared and you observe it, similarly this world uncalled for has appeared and you are compelled to observe it. Just observe. Spontaneously, unknowingly your beingness has appeared. Knowingly you don't know, now I am going to be. Only after the formation of I amness do you know I am. Can I carry out my normal household duties? Carry them out with all enthusiasm, but understand what I have told you. If you really understand this, remember it and ponder it. No special meditation is needed. The vital breath is the cause of the mind flow. It is occupied continuously, except during sleep. Ostensibly, we might be performing a ritual, reciting hymns loudly, thinking that we are performing some spiritual action. But the mind is not concentrated on that hymn, etc. It is thinking of something else. When someone is totally enjoying what he is doing, there is no sense of I. The beingness is fully absorbed in that mind inclination, but that no being state only witnesses it. Meditate on that principle by which you know you are and the world is. That is the very source of this manifest world. All actions are carried out by the vital breath. The language of the vital breath is called the mind. The recitation of mantra or japa is carried out by vital breath. And this beingness is a mere witness of the actions of the vital breath. The message I am is just a witness. The vital breath stimulates all activities. The support of these two entities is the food body, the food essence. The knowledge I am is the film, the destiny. Finally, what is our destiny? It is that birth chemical, that in which everything is recorded and everything is happening. Where are you in this? I amness is the chemical in which everything that is going to happen is recorded. When this is realized, you will understand that you are not an individual. Have you people been moving about India together? Yes, some of us have been studying Hatha Yoga, and we have also been to see Sri Ramanama Ashram for meditation. Moving in pairs or in groups is for entertainment. The real quest is solitary. If you want to master Hatha Yoga, you must go someplace else. For meditation, go back to Ramana Ashram. It is a nice place. Here we have Jnana Yoga, not Hatha Yoga. But does it not help to learn to control the mind? It is only when the Atman is present that there is mind. Maya is the language of the Atman. Is the Atman the thinker? Atman is the observer. The mind and the prana are only activators. They do become one. Because you consider yourself to be a body, you think them to be separate. What about karmic knowledge? All the energy that you have is karma, but it is not the Atman. Man is always an incarnation of something he doesn't know. It's only the food body. It is only because of the mind and body consciousness that these concepts come up. Are mind and the self different? They are one. What is death? Only the fear of death is present, but not actual experience of death. Just as you do not have the experience of birth, you do not have the experience of death, only the fear of death. What is the experience of death? It is rest. Do we have the experience of dying? Not of death. At the most you may see a dead body lying there and you are watching here. When I try to inquire who am I cannot stay long without other thoughts intruding. Who knows the thoughts? I do. Since you know the thoughts, you are not the thoughts. If the principle was not present, you could not have the thoughts. Can one be free from thought but have insight at the same time? Who wants to be free from thought and have insight into something else? Who is this I? You are prior to the thought. You have to go back to the source. When you ponder these talks, it could be called meditation. Can one be free from thought but have insight at the same time? When you ponder these talks, it could be called meditation, but in actual meditation, you should meditate on the meditator. Contemplate the contemplator. When you do so, you will know who you are. You will realize it without consulting anybody. In worldly life, as long as in spiritual pursuit, you always want to consult somebody. In our normal worldly daily life, is it possible that our I-amness could merge in the Absolute? It is not possible. That is why all these great incarnations have taken Maha-samadhi. Maha-samadhi means the beingness was merged into the Absolute. By doing Hatha Yoga, can I concentrate much better? My body feels lighter. I feel that it is good for me, that I need to do it. Until you know yourself, you will not know what you need or do not need. Whatever you do until the moment when you know yourself is useless. You know that the body is going to be left. Who is going to leave that body? Think of that. Does it mean that this identification is an obstacle? Yes, it is only the concept that is the obstacle. How did we get this concept? The child gets his first instructions from the mother, beginning with, we are the parents, you are the son. This is how you should behave, etc. Until then, his needs were only physical, and he did not know anything about himself. Later on, he gets instructions from his teachers in the school, others in his family, etc. Whatever he comes to know is what he has been told by others. The individual accepts and discusses various concepts with others, but hardly anyone gives any thought to that principle which is always present, which recognizes all this. This knowledge is the earliest, the base of all concepts. Knowledge is merely a name given to it. It has no name and no form. That is the source of all perception. It has no need of peace and quietude because it is itself peace and quietude. In this principle of basic quietude, without duality, no change occurs at any time. This basic principle is beyond any state. Whatever one perceives through the senses can only be a movement in consciousness, which is present when the states of waking and sleep are present. Whatever transpires in these states can only be temporary. Consciousness is itself God, and that beingness or consciousness is the only thing by which is divulged to one the secret of manifestation or creation. Nothing else will so divulge. All else is a concept. Until this basic principle, this basic knowledge of beingness or consciousness divulges its own secret to you, and you are intimate with it, whatever knowledge you have can only be based on concepts and is untrue. And even this basic concept, which is the source of all knowledge, is time-bound. This consciousness not only brings to you the knowledge of your own existence, but also the knowledge of the world. And when this knowledge disappears with the disappearance of the body, there is no knowledge of oneself or the world. The secret knowledge of how I came into being without any effort will be divulged only by this conscious beingness. Any guru who gives you spiritual knowledge can base that knowledge only on his own concept, which he considers as truth. The concept may be excellent. Still it is a concept, and whatever you try to understand through it is not going to be permanent. It is amazing that I am expounding this knowledge through this seed. Great yogis and munis who are doing penance are not able to receive it because they are holding on to certain ideas, hoping to acquire something very great. Although ostensibly they are doing penance for the sake of self-realization, in the process, they are very happy with what they acquire, and they stabilize there. Now I have understood what you have said, and I am going to study this. What do you mean by study? That means you are only trying to remember the concepts. What I am saying is that you must be concept-free. Put the axe to the concepts, including the concept I am. Are there any efforts required to eliminate the concepts so that we can know the truth, or does it happen by itself? It is spontaneous. The very concept that I woke up is the root of illusion. So there's no effort, just accept it as it is. 1 in a million will accept this. Others want to gain something. How do we get out of the mind flow? These mind things are flowing in me also out of the vital breath, but I don't accept them. The moment an ignorant person receives an impression, he puts it to the credit of his account. He registers it in his diary. This knowledge I am has appeared out of love, and that love comes out in existence. When this knowledge has dawned on the self, it is absolutely happy. But after the child is 2 or 3 years old, gradually he gets involved in I and mine, and he gradually loses hold of the joy that I am. The result of all this involvement is that he comes to the conclusion that he was born and is going to die. This knowledge has appeared on you, and you are charged with many sins and births. The accused is standing in the dock and has been sentenced to 25 years of rigorous imprisonment and death by hanging at the 26th year, and he is pleading guilty. Examine yourself thoroughly. Are you a body-mind? Were you born? Who are you? What are you? Find out for yourself. Before you were born, there was nothing. There was no idea that you were taking a form. This form came to your knowledge, and only after your mother introduced you to yourself. After passing this examination, the result will be that no idea of death will appear to you. What is this knowledge, knowingness? This knowledge is the essence of the food that has been assimilated by the body. It is as material as the body, and it will disappear, even as this will be extinguished. If we want to live during the next month, is it not necessary that we feed our body? Suppose you have some stale food. If you put it aside, it will become sour, and in due course worms and insects will form therein. Is it not the food which is giving life to those worms and insects? What does it indicate? The life force which is expressed in that insect is the food essence only. The life-giving force is in the food essence, and the food essence is itself its own food. So far, if it were to hang in the air right here and not get any farther, what Maharaj said gave the impression that something like a magnetic field involved with food organizes into an I am. In other words, he has set up a reality of food, which contains in it a field that constitutes an I am. I don't think that is what he is trying to get across, but it sounds like that. What is that body? Out of the elements, the earth and vegetation, a body is formed. Is it not so? Yes, out of that, where are you? I don't know where I am. Take a grain of sugar. The sugar is the essence of the sugar cane. It is sweetness only. You taste the sweetness of the sugar. You are not the sugar. What happens to that sweetness? Does it have a form? There's always the possibility. When the taste has disappeared, has it gone to hell or heaven? It did not go anywhere. It has merged into you. Earlier, Maharaj spoke of the I amness arising from the elements. Do not the elements also arise from the I am? Yes, it is a vicious circle. Understanding it and getting out of it. If the food body is not present, you will be whatever you were before when the food body is exhausted. Consciousness, the world, and this manifestation is an expression that you are. The sum total is, understand all this and do not try to interfere. All the prophets and social workers have come and gone. They could not change what is. This is the play of Maya. All this has happened out of nothingness, and it is going to the same state. This I amness is a product of the elements, and the I amness again creates the elements. So how are we to destroy that? You can't destroy it, you just have to go beyond it. I amness is part of the play. You are prior to the I amness.